We're in Paris ahead of the Champions League final, but it would be remiss, Augie, to be here and not talk about one of the biggest names that plays here, and that is Neymar. We've been talking with Julien Laurens yesterday, just wondering where he can go, because Jules did admit that PSG now, with the signing of Mbappe, the re-signing, have opened the door for him to leave, but with that price tag, it's hard to get it. Now, a certain club by the name of Newcastle have come into some new money. Neymar to Newcastle is the rumours that we're hearing, Augie. How likely is that to happen, and where does it come from?
I think it's pretty unlikely. I think there's some reports in France that it might happen. I think what people have to realise with Newcastle is that, yes, they've got a lot of money now with the new owners that are backed by Saudi Arabia, but Newcastle are trying to do it sustainably.
Yeah.
So they are trying to bring players in this summer which will allow them to climb to the next level, and they have to do that until they can increase their commercial revenue and money coming off football means they can't go out and buy people like Neymar. People like Jesse Lingard have been interested in Newcastle, but even Jesse Lingard, who apparently wants £150,000 a week, is too expensive for Newcastle. So if they can't afford Jesse Lingard, I won't pay for Jesse Lingard. Neymar is a completely different scenario altogether. Now, you know, Neymar, despite his reputation as being a player that can kind of drift in and out again, he's a great player. His goal record is amazing, but he does divide opinion because he can be a player that has long injury breaks. His focus at times can be questioned. Often goes back to Brazil, supposed party animal, this kind of thing. So it's difficult for clubs that are wanting to invest a lot of money to sign Neymar. Now, he's 30 years old. I think he's got a problem because there aren't many clubs now that are prepared to spend that kind of money on what is pretty much a luxury player, because it doesn't guarantee your fitness and form. It guarantees goals when he plays. So Chelsea, new owners, I can't see them being interested. You know, if Ed Woodward was still in charge at Manchester United, he was often the guy that would, spend money on extravagant signings, Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria. But Man United have got a different era now. They are not signing Neymar with Eric Ten Hag in charge. So
no chance.
So for Neymar, he's got a problem. Maybe he'll wait till his contract expires and try and go back to Barcelona, but I don't know where he goes because he's going to cost somebody a lot of money, and that money isn't in the game right now.
Well, we also had Gemma Soler on, who, of course, is our Barcelona correspondent, and she was also quite hesitant to think of a time where Barcelona, especially given what Xavi is trying to do with this youth at Barcelona, where they would probably open the door with him. He did kind of burn a couple of bridges at Barcelona. He did leave a bad taste in their mouths there when he did leave. So if we put the price tag aside, which I know is hard to, because that's 50% or more of Neymar's, I suppose, issue in finding another club, where else would suit him? Which other league do you think would suit him?
Well, we were told a story once by somebody very high up at Manchester City. So this was back when Neymar was at Santos, and they were interested in trying to sign Neymar. And they investigated him and were told pretty much straight away, look, if Neymar's going to sign for Man City, we want Nike, who was his sponsor at the time, to make him a pair of special boots to play in the mud in England. So Man City thought, well, if that is your view of playing in England, you clearly don't want to play in England. So obviously the pitches in England are very good these days, but that to me sounds like Neymar don't want to play in England. Too many games, too many physical demands. 10 years on, maybe he might decide that it's a good time to go there. But I just don't see a club in England having the money and the sporting project, I guess to say, to take him, because he is a player that doesn't really fit into a strategic plan now. So many teams nowadays are 4-3-3, very much rigid. The players you don't have a Neymar, you don't have a free-floating player like a Neymar. So maybe he's a player that will find it hard to find a club. And it's a shame because he's a great player. Somebody will sign him, but, because of COVID and because of the situation with financial in the game right now, it's going to be really hard for him to find a club.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.